I'm Old McBuckles, and this is my garden. It's 2019. We are in Zone 6B in the United States, central Pennsylvania, roughly. Uh, this is the second year of my garden, but we've done quite a few improvements. We lost our western ramparts to a storm, so we've refortified them, and I used some of the extra materials. Always budget in extra, guys, for the trellis here and some old fence pieces. And what we have here, everything was either grown directly from seed in the garden itself, or I did a few flats in a grow tent under a fluorescent light. So even in the suburbs, you could do something in your own basement, with a few materials. So first up, along the trellis, I have some tomatoes here. I've used some twist ties, garden twisties. It comes in a big roll, it's a couple bucks, just to help keep these up along the trellis here, and they are loving it. However, come on down here, cameraman Lance. Initially, a few of my plants were a little lanky and had snapped. Don't throw those away because it breaks the apical dominance, and the plant shoots out basically two new plants from the sides. And we're using that to our advantage here. I have two plants that happened to, and we are doing just trying to weave them along the fence here. So now instead of one main branch, I have two side branches. These beds were built from a little bit of compost left over from last year. I have a video posted for that from last year. But we didn't use a lot of compost here. It's mostly just yard dirt, a little diggings from our fire pit. But it doesn't take much to invest in your garden to have great results. So use everything to your advantage. We have also along the trellis here we have some beans. These are lima beans here. And then down here we have some green beans. I don't know if they really need the trellis, but we'll see. Down here we have a variety of peas, and you can see here they're already growing. They send out these little vines, and they're attaching to the fencing here. And every day I just come out and push them down, try and tuck them under the fencing so that they grab a hold. It seems to be working, and then this front row, I'll do the same thing. Stepping back here. And along the way, every so often, I have some, I believe these are marigolds that I got from my in-laws, so we'll see how they turn out. Redone fencing here, and we have some different potatoes in bins. I read up on this, and I was out of room, out of dirt, so I threw my potatoes in bins, and here they are. I have some a red skin potato and an all blue potato. And what I did here was I planted the seed potatoes at the bottom of this and covered up once they sprouted. Every few weeks you just add a little dirt, and if you come in here, cameraman Lance, you can see this bin's almost full, but we still got a ways to go. So in the near future here, I'll be filling this, topping this off as much as I can. The theory is that once it grows and dies off, I'll just be able to tip this bucket over and have a whole bunch of potatoes. So we'll see how it goes. I'll make a video about that, hopefully. All right, so over here, cameraman Lance, we also have some pumpkins. Pumpkins is what we have here along this post here. And then we have some corns, sunflowers. I had a couple different kinds of sweet corn and sunflowers, mammoths, like I did last year. If you can check out my old videos and see. And also Pikes Peak, which is supposed to be even taller, so hopefully we'll get some good results from that. And then I also planted along the post some zucchinis and little hills, yellow and green zucchinis, and some more of the marigolds. Apparently it wards off garden critters that you don't like. Over here we have some kale and some weeds. Weeds have been terrible this year. Not the best, but I work at them. But this kale is actually starting to crowd out the weeds anyway. So what I've been doing is pretty much letting the plants grow and eventually they just drown out everything else. So I should be able to go through here today or tomorrow and take out all of these weeds, and the kale, because it's so tight and so well grown, it'll block the light for any other weeds that might try and grow in. Also, I have some kind of volunteer melon, and I've trained it to the fence. It's reached its little tendrils out, and grabbed a couple places here, and I just keep training it with the same garden twist tie. It comes in a roll for like $3 or $4. I highly recommend it. So I'll train this along here, and hopefully it'll grow up, be a big, tall, some sort of melon. Don't know. It's a volunteer from last year. Been getting a lot of those. Broccolis over here are looking great. These were also started from seed in a basement. Let's get a nice preview of that. Beautiful stuff. All right. Also, we have onions. These were onions left over from last year, and I used those as sets, and they're just going to seed, so I'll reuse those seeds and replant those. And then I have some onions I started from seed. Right now they're growing in bunches, and I'll pick them as needed, as I like them. Here we have beets. I was so impressed with beets last year that I grew twice as many as I did, which it's a small garden. It was 2 packs of seeds. It's like $3. So, but they're growing in tight rows, nice bunches, and they're starting to crowd everything out. I probably have to go through there one more time, and then I won't have to touch it again as far as weeds go. And these are my carrots. We're a little knocked down. We've been having some crazy Pennsylvania wind today, so but these are the carrots, nice and tightly grown. They probably still have a few more weeks before we can actually harvest those. Over here I have cauliflower. No heads yet, but soon. And here I have some volunteer sunflowers. I didn't plant these, they just decided to grow. When you have a lot of birds in your area, they distribute your seeds, and that's what happens. So over here is some assorted vinies. So we have pumpkins, veggie spaghetti, some cucumbers, cantaloupes, watermelons, everything on the north side of the trellis. And the theory, my plan, hopefully, is that everything will grab that trellis and work its way up. Will it work? Stay tuned and find out. Over here is lettuce of varying sorts. Lettuce is probably one of the easiest plants to grow. You can start it super early, and there's so many varieties. And a nice relative or a plant to go with lettuce is these right here. This is arugula, and this is actually like a spicy leafy plant. These are going to seed, but the leaves are still edible, and it's like a spicy, nutty flavor. The only thing that tastes like arugula is arugula, so I recommend you check that out. We'll come over here. This is the herb garden this year. This is on the side of the greenhouse. This is pretty shallow soil here. So what we have is cilantro that's quickly becoming coriander. It's gone to flower. Some dill, fern leaf dill. But hiding behind that, I did not realize how tall these were going to get. We have some both green and purple basils. They're delicious and very fragrant. Some parsley over here. I just watered, so everybody's kind of a little knocked over. Between the water and the wind, everybody's a little late over. This is chamomile. Right here we have lemon thyme, which tastes exactly like lemon, which is pretty wild for such a weird little plant. Rosemary. This is kind of a piney, delicious sort of scent. Good for the beard. Then we have some spearmint. This was one of those packs that you get from your local supermarket or Walmart. I planted it here, and now it's kind of taken over everybody else. Greek oregano and Mexican tarragon. Those, along with the lemon thyme, are all from a local box store. These were very sorry, sickly looking plants, and just daily waterings and a little care, and these are looking great. Sidebar, if you know what I should do with this Mexican tarragon, I'd love you to leave a comment because I have no idea. Here's some lovely flowers from my daughters. Thank you, girls. Moving on, we're almost done, folks. More marigolds from my in-laws. They have a greenhouse and stuff. Some various peppers, carnival pepper. Nothing hot, I'm too old for that. Over here we have some, I think, some really beautiful red cabbages. Again, started from seed in a little grow tent under a crappy fluorescent light. So you could do this wherever you are. A little space in your closet in your apartment, and then you could grow something like this in a container. Same way with the peppers or tomatoes. It's whatever you're into. And finally, over here we have some eggplants or aubergines, depending where you're from, I guess. As you can see, looks like somebody's been shooting these with a shotgun. I believe that's flea beetles. Again, if you have a good answer for flea beetles, I'd love to hear it. I don't want to spray anything toxic. Like I said, I have a lot of birds and local wildlife. I don't want to kill anything. So if you have an organic, non-toxic solution for the dreaded flea beetle, I'd love to hear it. Yeah, just more peppers, some volunteer tomatoes that have sprung up from last year. Some cabbages. Another volunteer. I can't wait to see what all of these are. I have so many of these that have just sprung up. This looks like some type of melon, maybe a zucchini. Won't know till it grows out. And then finally over here we have some cabbage and some broccoli plants that had survived from last year, despite all the snow, Pennsylvania cold. They survived and immediately went to seed. So I'm going to save these seeds because this is obviously a super hardy plant. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Well, thanks for taking a tour of my garden and listening to me ramble. I'm Old McBuckles. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments. It's really important. Thanks for watching.